We are all aware that the second-year exams are just around the corner, and at this time I would like to remind you all that when giving your practical demonstrations, the initial lessons of safe casting from year 1 are very much still important. I don't want to see any lazy casting from any of you. Remember your casting circles, remember your ritual purifications, remember your wards, and for the love of any deity, please refrain from attempting to show off with dangerous antics. No one wants a rerun of the flying rats incident. Whilst we're at it, I have an announcement from the Dean. The school wards have been detecting irregular spiritual fluctuations in the area. So the Dean would like to remind all years that any form of spiritual summoning is not to be practiced by anyone below year 3 without written permission or the presence of a professor or senior. Understood? Dismissed. Lesson plans for this year's graduates, if they've banished them from this realm again. Hello. Do you have questions about the lecture? Late coursework, then? No, you've never been a problem with that. You need my help? Exam prep? I know practical examinations are intimidating, but you really have nothing to be concerned with. You've always had a flair for the... Let me stop you there. You're asking for my help with something you can't possibly tell me about until I agree to meet you in a wooded area known for its student parties. You're aware of how this sounds, yes? I'm either walking into a prank or a murder scene, so I'm going to need something. I am aware you've never been a party animal, and I am very much aware that your admittedly small circle of friends does not include known pranksters, but that doesn't necessarily mean you cannot be convinced. You know the source of the fluctuations. Now that is perhaps a bit more concerning, yes. I have no choice but to believe you. The implications behind spiritual fluctuations are no laughing matter, and if you know, you know. Where is it you wish to meet? Yes, I know the place. Don't thank me yet, and be ready. I will want to know exactly how this all came about. Yes, good evening to you too. Where do we go from here? Just down the steps? Lead the way. It's been a long time since I was here. I was actually convinced it had been forgotten about. Do you know where this is? The old summoning circle indeed. I must have been one of the last years to use this during study. Sweet nostalgia. And before you continue stuttering, I am acutely aware of the entity in the center of the circle, yes? Very hard to miss, actually. Why would I freak out, exactly? Yes, it's a huge entity, but the summoning circle seems to have been adequately charged to hold it. But it appears your wards were not placed preemptively. That is rather poor practice. The circle can only do so much. You are exceptional at wards. Why did you forget it this time? How do I know it was you? You're the only student that handed in a paper on this very subject. So yes, logically it would mean you likely summoned it, and your reaction only confirms it. The question here is, why did you do it? You're in your second year of university. You have no need to be practicing this until at least halfway through your fourth. Care to explain? Quiet, you. It's rude to interrupt, and I expect the bare minimum of manners, so you can tell me your side of things once my student here has finished explaining theirs. Thank you. Continue, if you please. I see. You were concerned about your performance in the exams and had hoped to approach a spirit for the knowledge required to pass. Not unheard of, and certainly far from impossible. However, you seem to have forgotten a few key practices. Allow me to consult the entity. Good evening. I must ask pardon for your current predicament. Would you mind explaining how you got here? I am aware they summoned you, however, if it's no bother, would you mind explaining the manner in which you arrived and what direction was guided to you during the ceremony of... Now, there's no need to swear. I'm confident the matter will be quickly resolved once the necessary information is laid out. That does indeed explain a lot. Thank you so much for your time. If you'll excuse me, I must address my student. You know how it is. I must admit, that was a surprise. You wrote a paper on the fundamentals of spiritual summons last semester, and if memory serves, as it often does, you scored quite well because the paper was written with near full comprehension of all requirements and dangers associated with the subject. Yet what I am seeing here does not reflect that knowledge. The wards are hastily done, and the summoning element is fractionally older, meaning they were placed after the entity was summoned. And the entity has informed me that its welcome to this side of the realm was done so with little to no direction. In fact, it claimed to have been dragged in by chaotic thought alone. No wonder it was so angry in its initial appearance. It's calmer with me because I was clear in what I wanted. Mind and soul. But here lies a predicament. In the haste of the summoning, only a singular channel was formed, not the bisecting channels used at the university as a means of ensuring student safety with the mindful presence of an experienced mentor. I can be present, but only you can undo this. It would be cruel to leave the entity entrapped. The longer it's forced to remain in our realm, the faster it degrades. But it is aware of every single moment of time passing, effectively a slow death. And if the ward fails before then, the madness of pain would bring out a deadly rampage. I will not allow that to come to pass. You have two options. Allow the creature to pass or potentially break free, potentially killing students in the process and face immediate expulsion, if not sentencing. Or, under my supervision and guidance, send it back and save your place here. Nobody likes limited options, but there they are. Take a moment, breathe, think about it, and let me know. Yes, it would be irresponsible to leave you to this alone. I will remain until it is done. A wise choice. Now, the return ritual should be relatively simple. Just do as you did in reverse. But this time, keep focused on your intent. The entity wishes to return as much as you wish it to. That will help, as it will not fight you on the matter. Indeed. It's ready to begin when you are. Calamity averted. It was easy because both you and the entity were on the same wavelength. For now, though, you should return to your dorm. See me first thing tomorrow morning. Enter. Good morning. Take a seat. I won't waste your time as I'm aware you have a class soon. I had a meeting with the dean earlier this morning. He has been made aware of the situation and its resolution. However, we cannot simply let bygones be bygones. It's all right. I pled your case, and fortunately, you have never made so much as a wrongful glance on record, and of course, this isn't the first time a student has approached an entity in order to glean more information on matters of magical nature, and surprisingly enough, this wasn't the largest either, but still, definitely quite the scale. As such, we have come to a decision. You are not going to be expelled for this, but are strongly advised from such grand schemes in the future. Further to this, as the summoning circle appears to be very much active, we will bring it back into university use, and you will be in charge of cleaning up the area and cleansing it. Community service, if you will. Save the apology, I'm not done yet. You will only be required to see out your task once you have taken a 2-week leave and completed a mindfulness awareness course. Yes, it's fairly common around exam periods to see students succumb to stressors, but in your case I think it goes a fair bit deeper. I'm willing to say you're far closer to burnout than you'd care to admit. You hand in every paper a week early, often with bags under your eyes and less weight to your face. Library records show you clocking in at early hours and leaving at early hours. I took a closer look and saw this week alone you were logging in and out with only 2 or even 3 hours between them. That's not enough time to eat, rest, and recuperate mentally, let alone shower. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you won't keep what you learn by draining yourself dry and forcing unnecessary pressure on yourself. Learn? Yes. Destroy yourself doing it? No. So you're on leave in order to rest. I'm kind for a hard ass, Not the first time I've heard that. Being a teacher of any kind should require a sense of not only outward awareness, but inward as well. I can sit here and scold you for your poor choice of study technique all day, but I'd much rather see to the underlying issue than waste time on something that has already been attended to. Be the person you would want others to be for you. Hate you? Never. I could never hate any of my students. Be concerned for? Yes. Have confidence in? Absolutely. It is my chosen path to share knowledge, to represent it. Never fear the pursuit of knowledge, and you should not be made to feel afraid of those whose duty it is to impart it. Fear is not an educational aid. I was confident you could resolve your mistake because you were able to bring it about in the first place. I was patient because it was what you needed above all else. I'll happily be there for all under my guidance. To master the spirit, you must be empathetic by nature. Going against that would be far too hypocritical, for me at least. Your mistake is undone, your punishment accepted with grace, your leave enforced, and your future safe and secure. Go and finish your day. Tomorrow, you are on leave. Good day.